want to share a little bit on trust. Not the trusting of another or trusting that some event will happen, but really the essence of trust in general and what it is. What is it to trust? There have been a few experiences for me recently that have brought trust vividly into my direct experience. And with it, the realization that there are much bigger, relatively bigger forces at play that are shaping and guiding, shifting, evolving, creating in ways that are utterly beyond the mind's comprehension. And the capacity to trust that, which is a form of surrender with a capital S, to really let go into that trust, is for me one of the most important and necessary aspects of this human experience. If we are to live peacefully, joyfully, with love in our hearts, this is utterly necessary. This level of trust. It means completely letting go of control. It means completely removing any desire to try and know the future. It means dropping the sense of how things ought to be or should be. Recognizing that all our suffering, each of our sorrows, our miseries, our psychological pains, is a product of the gap between us thinking we know and this infinite moving. That's where all our suffering lies, in that gap. And this is hard for me to grapple with, especially at the moment, with so much turmoil in the world, with so much hatred and fear and just utter barbarianism. The harm one causes to another. To say that that is, in some sense, divine, perfect, is hard to hold. It's hard to be with. It's hard to open one's heart to. But I can also see how by not accepting life as it is, not because there are any reasons why it must be this way, but just because it's the way it is. Any movement away from that takes us into the very same pattern that creates the turmoil, the destruction, the misery that we see across the planet. Because as soon as we depart from the way things are actually and move into stories about how they should be, we're in a mode of division, of judgment. And then we can only repeat. So one of the antidotes to this for me at the moment is just to drop deeply into trust. Just deep trust in the heart, not in an object. Not in waiting for some savior to come get us, some God to guide us. Just to feel that this is the way things are, as they are. See what that does to the mind. See what that does to the soul. And see the kind of intelligence that emerges from that. And the skillful action that blossoms in the world.